What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Life at the Hamids. So in our last episode, what we did was I showed you the allotment before going up on holiday. Now, I already recorded this video and realized that I didn't do it in 4K. So I did a harvest. The video was supposed to be about coming back and harvesting all the tomatoes that I've done. So I did do that, and I'll show you the produce that I actually collected on the first day in a picture. And what I'll do is, it's been a couple of days since then. I didn't want to really release a video that wasn't of high quality for you, so I waited a few more days and I've come back. I'm just going to show you anyway, and we'll harvest whatever's left and ready since the last time I actually harvested. But in the last video we got quite a amount of beans, tomatoes, figs, etc, etc. But I won't waste too much of your time. Let's actually go around and have a look at it. And what we'll do is I'll fill you in as we go along. All right. If you haven't already done so, please take this moment to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It really makes a difference to the channel. But without further ado, let's get on with it. All right, so what I'll do is I'll quickly show you the brassica bed. Let's have a look at how that's going along. So I'm going to quickly just remove this netting, and what I'll do is I can show you everything, how it's going along. The beetroot seem to be growing more now, so let's just quickly take this off, this netting, and I'll show you how it's going on. And it seems like nothing's getting through, but let's have a look. Now, I thought something actually got through. If you look at the bits on the floor, these, I thought something's going through, but I think they naturally fall off. Look at that. So if they're not producing anything, they just fall off. So you see, the ones that are there are really good. Now, I think I'm still going to get calyx at the bottom. I can see these nodules. You see these? Because usually the calyx will grow in between. So I'm actually curious about if I'll get some at the bottom as well. But I should do. But these calyx are growing fine. I think they were a bit bigger last year. I've not really grown Brussels sprouts before. But look, this happens the same with the Brussels sprouts. So that's quite interesting and quite neat. It's funny how nature works in terms of getting rid of things it doesn't need. I cut off the leaves, it's not producing, and look at the way nature just gets rid of it. It doesn't need it, so it sheds it all off. But yeah, here's my purple sprouting broccoli. They're doing quite well. Everything's growing. Again, let's hope for a really good year. What I do is I cut these leaves off and I go feed my chickens. But I'm going to leave them for now. But have a look here. We're starting to actually get some beetroot. If you see here, let me just move the leaves out of the way. I'm starting to get some beetroot there. I've got one bulb over here. There, if I dig around it, you can see there's a bulb there. As they grow bigger, I'll pull that out and basically leave more space for the other ones to grow. But for now, let's leave that as it is and let it continue. But yeah, these are growing well. I'm supposed to actually put my cauliflower in. I've got the seedlings at home. I haven't done it. I'm hoping I've got enough time. Never really grown cauliflower because I've not invested in the netting system. But I'm going to chuck them in anyway. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. You've got seedlings. You've always got space. Just put them in and see what happens. All right. So in terms of Bulgarian tomatoes, we've got quite a few, but I don't see any nearly ready to harvest or ripened. I've got some of these splitting as well, which didn't happen last year. If you look there. So I don't know whether they've rubbed against something or whatever, but usually I'll harvest them when they start to change color. But we've still got a good amount here and there's still time. What I will do is I'll clean up at some point and let some more sunlight get to these. You can see the foliage has grown. Another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting the tops off. So for example here, right? Let's do it on one that I didn't do. I'm going to be cutting the tops off so they can't grow no more. So I'm just going to pinch out the tops of the plant so that the energy can go into actually ripening all the fruit. The cherry tomatoes, they're growing quite well, but we've got lots of green tomatoes here, and I don't think we have enough time for the tomatoes to actually fully ripen. So it's about now where you want to start pinching out the tops. I did these last time I came. If you have a look there, I just pinch out the growing top. There's another one there, and I'm just going to take it out. And then that way this plant can focus on ripening up all the tomatoes, because we don't have long left now. It's the end of September. You've got October, and then literally the days are getting shorter, and we're going to have a problem basically with green tomatoes not ripening, which you can use green tomatoes, but ideally I want ripened tomatoes. All right, so let's have a look at this. So we can actually start harvesting most of these. I did a harvest last time as well, but look at these beautiful tomatoes. These are lovely. These are really good in flavor. Really, really good in flavor. They're sweet. You can eat them straight off there. It's better. And in terms of sun gold, these ones are actually quite sweet. I think they're better than the sun gold. So I think I would grow this. I'm probably not going to grow as many. They're quite prolific. So I'd probably do one of these plants next year, because I don't really need to go through that much. We cook more with tomatoes than have them in salads. We do have them in salads, but we don't use cherry tomatoes in salads. We usually just do the bigger tomatoes and chop them up and make salsas, etc., like that. So I won't do too many of these next year. But you can see there's quite a few I can harvest off of this one and collect. I've got another one that I just left here. That was from a seedling. Not a seedling, a side shoot. I've just left it there. It's giving me tomatoes. I don't really care what happens with that one. But look at the difference in size. This is my sakura plant. You can see we've got tomatoes growing on this one over here. And look at the difference in size compared to the standard cherry tomatoes. So if you want a sakura plant, a bigger cherry tomato, look at that. That's probably about triple the size, minimum double the size. Let's pick a bigger one. So they're quite good, and they're good in flavor. So I think if you want a nice, decent sized cherry tomato, you can halve them for your salads. The sakuras are the best to go for. Here you can see some things bitten into there, probably a pigeon. We share with nature all the time. That's still good. I'll probably just cut it off and use that as a priority. But you can see the cherry tomatoes are the quickest to ripen. I picked some last time and they were quite good. So this is sakura. We've got our next one. I think these were the money makers. Now what I'm doing, due to our time constraints, I'm actually harvesting them. Can you see the difference in color? So these are green tomatoes here. Now, once they start to change color, you can actually take them off. The bigger tomatoes, they will ripen soon as they start to change. Can you see that's not your green tomato? That's a green tomato. This is slightly started to change. You leave that on the windowsill, and what will happen is that will ripen. I'll show you a picture of some that I took on the last harvest, and since the last harvest they've already started to ripen up, and the colors have started to change. But last year I didn't do that. Last year I let them ripen on the vine. But if you're in trouble with timing, or if you want to make sure that you get the most out of your plant, you can start to do that, and there's nothing wrong. It won't affect the flavor so much. The cherry tomatoes do benefit from being on the plant and ripening on the plant, but these ones don't. But you can see that I can just take them off, and these ones will, although green, these ones will ripen at home. All right, follow me around over here, and you can see we have some Black Moon tomatoes. Now with these, they're really, some people struggle to know when to pick them, but you can see there's a big color difference. So when they're like that, they're not ripe yet. They'll change color, and you'll be able to see them, and you can see if you touch that, that's quite firm, but you can just generally tell with the color difference. And these are all right tomatoes. They're not the best. I just like them because of the color difference, and it just adds a nice bit of color to your salads. Flavor wise, I don't think they're the best tomato, but they're still good. If you have a look over here, we've got a San Marzano. Now, these ones, they're doing okay. I don't see any ripening. I've got more than last year actually, but I don't see them ripening. Let's see the water. The water levels are fine here. If you check in and it's about finger width, you can feel moisture. You don't need to water. They're all right. But look, sometimes you'll get them falling off. It's all right. It's not too bad. Over there, you can see my Thai basil. This is actually Siam something, but it's the actual authentic Thai basil, which I did for the first time this year. Did it a bit late, but hopefully there'll be a decent harvest from it. These were my manage to, but when I went away to Lancaster, something pulled them out. Now on the last video, which I actually had to discard, we came back and these were pulled out. So I put them back in. Obviously I've got rid of that video because the quality wasn't good. But I had to basically, I watered it, I put them back in. I hope that they would recover. Maybe 1 or 2 have, but I don't think they will. And now these, if you look, oh, this, I can't remember what it is. It's a squash plant. I just chucked it in there because I had space. So basically, yeah, it's growing. I don't know if I'll get anything from it. But if you look over here, this is what was happening. I just get it pulled out and it was left on the side. But next year, I'll definitely be doing the manch 2. The manch 2 is something that I'll do because I do a lot of stir fry and we cook a lot of Chinese food, Thai food, and it can be used in all of those. The peas. Now, the peas I could have done better on in terms of harvesting. If you have a look here, these are well overripe or whatever you call it. You want to get them where, let's see if I can find one. But obviously I had to go away and I didn't think these would do too well. But can you see, while I've been gone, they've over ripened. You want to get them when they're even a bit earlier than this. Let's see if I can find one. Like, look how massive they've gone. And what I might do is I might just leave this for seeds next year now. I probably might not harvest. Look, you want to get them thin. And I don't think I can find any thin ones. This one's still producing flowers. But what I might do is I might just leave this one and let it produce seeds for me for next year. So actually, I'm not going to cut any more off of that one. There's still flowers growing. So I've used up all my seeds. So let's just leave that for seeds. I'm not going to harvest from that. These was what they're called. I got these for like 50p, pumpkin racer. I doubt I'll get anything from them because of their size, but they're in there. I got them for 50p and not so bad. This video is only going to be a tour today because I've got a lot to show you. But in our next video, I'm going to be harvesting these potatoes and we'll see how they've done because this side is fertilized and that side's not. But if we have a look through just quickly, I can dig through, you'll be able to see we've got potatoes in here. Look, if I just put my hand through, I can show you. We've got potatoes. So make sure you subscribe for the latest updates on the videos, etc. Because I will be showing you, and we can see, I think the fertilizer does make a big difference, but we can see how much of a difference in our next video the fertilizer will make compared to non-fertilized potatoes. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll only count 5. We'll do 5 on 5 because I've got extra fertilized ones. Otherwise it'll be an unfair test. And just to be fair, I'll just keep the first 5 that are side by side, just in case there's differences and variations in the weather. All right, so let's move on to the beans. Again, in the video that I had to discard, I already collected a bunch. I'll show it to you again, but we've got beans. These are the ones, this was the one that actually survived. You can see we've got flowers growing along it, and the beans will still continue to produce. You can see little ones over here. As long as it's well watered, the beans will continue to produce through the season. All I've got to do is cut and collect. And what I'll do is I want them about that size. So I collected a whole load, but you can see there's ones up here that are ready to harvest, and I'll just come and collect them, and I'll be quite good at collecting them on time. But you can see I'm gonna get a decent amount from here. Give it a couple more days and I'll have a lot, but you can see it's all catching up. Everything's catching up. There's loads here to harvest and there'll be loads more. And hopefully this one's already started to flower. So when this one catches up, and it won't take long now that they've started, but I'll be able to get beans from this as well. All right, let's collect. I think for the first time this year, I finally got them at the right size. So I've got a leaf off there, but there we go. So we've got some courgettes over here. So let's leave those there. We've got some courgettes. I've actually got two. Let's be careful how I cut this. There we go. I've got two courgettes over here. Lovely sized courgettes. The last one was massive and I nearly let it go into a marrow. You can see here, I've got another one there, another one there, which will be ready in a couple of days. So it doesn't take long. Let me cut this one off for now. We don't need that. I'll get rid of that. But yeah, lovely. So we've got two courgettes from here. I might as well finish this bed now. If you look over here, these were my yellow courgettes, which I didn't get to do last year, or I've never done before, but they didn't do so well. They also have been dug up. This one got obliterated by slugs and has caught up. This one was another one I bought for 50p, but this one got dug up a few times. So I'll be happy if I get something, but I'm not sure if I will. These are the Marmite tomatoes. Do you see over there? I'm going to go to the other side. So I can see that that one over there is going to start to form. And then that one over there will basically ripen up on the windowsills. So that one's a risky one. Can you see? It's usually green like that. It started to yellow. This one definitely will ripen. If Daffy actually goes round quickly and shows you, we've got a lot of Marmite tomatoes over there. So all we've got to do is clear up a lot of the extra leaves. I'll do that probably later on and get some sunlight on these. I'm also going to top these and get rid of all the side shoots and everything that's growing now to basically let it focus, because we've got a lot of tomatoes there and I think we'll be all right with tomatoes. But look, basically you want them like that. And what will happen is this: it'll go from that color, then it'll start to go green and orange, and then you'll get this really nice differentiation of color before it goes actual red. That's really, really nice. This is baby corn now. They're actually starting to grow up. Now this should have been obviously grown quite high, but this got dug up like 3-4 times. I had to redo this bed a couple of times, but this time I got the net around it. Net works for next year. I know that I have to basically net things. Last year I didn't have to, but always obviously be cautious. Next year I learned my lesson. I'm going to basically make sure I net them, even the beans and the French beans. All right, so the chili peppers over here, they've not done well. You've got, okay, actually, you know what? Let me just put these down for now. I've actually got some rodeo chili. So this is the rodeo chili peppers. So these I can harvest at this time. They don't get much bigger than this. So these are the right size. So I've got some actual chili peppers. Let's see. I've got 2, 3. So I'll harvest those. 3 that are ripe. And that's not bad actually, because I didn't think I was going to get anything from these. But look, I've got some chilies from this one. But yeah, these don't do well. I've got some weeding to do when I finish this video. But yeah, this don't do well. Next year, I don't need to do the cardboard. So hopefully we won't have things ripping up and trying to make habitat for themselves and whatnot. But yeah, next year, what I've bought is I've bought an extra set of hoops, and I've bought this plastic sheeting, so it'll be like a greenhouse, and I'm hoping that that will improve the stability of the chilies, because the chilies need quite a warm temperature and they do better in polytunnels or greenhouses, and I've just left them out in nature. But remember, it's not the right climate, so I've invested in it. I didn't put it on this year because I didn't think it was worth it. I'll just leave them as it is. I've got chilies at home that are really doing well in the greenhouse. Maybe I will do a video and show you the house as well, the garden, and show you how the chilies are doing there, because I've got quite a few chilies there. But look, at least I've got a few from the allotment garden over here. Now look over here, going back to this one. We've got flowers on the aubergine. So I've got one here, one lovely flower over there. I'm not going to touch it too much. I'm not sure if we've got enough time to get aubergines, but there's no harm. I've got plenty of seeds for next year. Again, these do better. They're like the chilies. They do better in a greenhouse or polytunnel. So what I'll probably do is I'll cover these up as well next year and do them. But usually I've done them outside and I get a harvest anyway. All right, let me put this down over here, because I'm not going to harvest anything. But if you have a look in here already, we've got a lovely amount of tomatoes. We've got courgettes. The beans need maybe another 4 or 5 days and I can collect. But last time I had a whole bunch of beans. But look at that. That's not bad so far for a day's worth. Let's have a look at the pumpkins. These are the autumn crowns. So I've got a small one over here. And these, again, I planted late and I wasn't expecting much. But we've got something better than nothing. I've got another autumn crown over here. So that's 2. I've got one more here. They're not massive in size because I had some watering problems. We were busy this year, etc. But that's still amazing. How many more do we have? Oh, if you come along here, we've got a humongous one over here. And look, something scratched it, but they do recover, look, and it forms a hard skin and it's fine. I found that if you ever have problems like that, don't worry about it. They'll seal over. I had a squirrel scratch away at one and it just forms the skin and it seals itself and it's been fine. They last. If you look over here, we've got ochikikuri. Now, that usually is double the size. But again, I planted them late. So I haven't got many. Last year I had quite a few. I thought I'd have another one here, but look, it's started to rot away and something's burrowed in it. Probably because it's been rotting away. So we've got one more here, over here. It's an chikikuri. It's not grown much in size. And let's see what happens. But again, look, I've got frozen pumpkin from last year. I've got pumpkin that's still there waiting for me to cut. So what I do is I usually cut it. I'll eat a portion. I'll freeze the rest and vacuum seal it. So we've got plenty from last year still. I was hoping to get a butternut squash. These need to be planted early, but I never seem to get there each year. So next year, let's hope. I don't know if I'm going to get something this year again, but next year, let's hope that I can do it earlier and get something. Now, with the fig tree, last time I came, I actually got a big harvest. Now, it looks so much better now that it's pruned. I can see all the figs and they're growing day by day. Let's see if I can find any to harvest today. So, if you just stay there for a second, I've got one over here. What it is every day I come, I get a few. I'm harvesting. Now, sometimes I'll get something pecking into it. However, they're still fine to eat. I just cut around it. Let me just check the other side quickly while Daffy shows you the whole plant. And you'll see I've got a few more on the other side I can collect. And every day, basically what ends up happening is if I come here, I'll be able to harvest a few. But I think I should have pruned this tree earlier, a lot earlier, and it would have given a chance for a bigger prolific harvest. But there's loads on there, and to be honest, if I get them bit by bit, I don't mind. But look, I've got a few here that are ripe, just ripe enough to pick. But it means also that I get to enjoy them. The only thing is last year I had a whole bucket full. But you know what? It's nature. We didn't have the heat, so it could have been that. It could have been the fact that I didn't prune it in time. But I'll make sure I improve and just look at the data that I collect. I'm more thinking about it, what I can improve and what I can change for next year. There's always something to add and change and adapt. So it is what it is, really. If you come along here, let's have a look at the flower section. The flower section is doing a lot better. So we've got a mini, ooh, quite sharp, a mini, oh, so okay, in the last video that I discarded, we only had one, but now we've got a second one growing there, if you have a look there. So these are the artichokes, the globe artichokes. Now, I'm not going to harvest any of these. These are actually growing to beautiful flowers. So I'm going to leave them as it is because I want this to grow strong. I'm not sure if I keep it here, but it seems to be doing all right. I've moved it. This is the second time I've moved it. So I'm probably just going to leave it here for now and then decide later on. But look at the flowers. We've got sunflowers growing here. In my house, wherever I grow these, the squirrel, as much as the squirrels are beautiful, they're a nuisance. They like to chew away everything. And they usually chew this down and eat all my sunflowers. But you can see over here, we've got, I've forgotten the name of this, but we've got this. We've got the red poppies. We've got the Californian poppies. Look at this. We've also got this growing there, which I don't like. They're bloody sharp and spiky. Get rid of that for now. All right. The Californian poppies, we've got the nasturtiums. The nasturtiums seem to die off and then not grow no more, but they leave behind these. So they'll self-seed the next year for the next year. And they leave behind all these seeds. Now, if you look at this, just behind this, I've already deadheaded it because we had a few flowers. But look at these beautiful flowers. These are the Cosmos Fizzy Pop. Fizzy Purple? Fizzy Purple, not Fizzy Pop. And they're beautiful. They're really nice. You know what? I'm going to grow this every year. And hopefully, as I deadhead it, you can see there's more and more flowers growing. They just keep growing. So you deadhead them like that, get rid of it, and you can basically keep them growing. Now, this whole section over here, when I'm able to do the bonfire, the fire in the allotment, because we're not allowed to do it till October. So in October, I'm going to actually, you know where the fig tree, not the fig tree, the bay tree was? I'm going to burn those roots rather than digging out, like I said in previous videos. I'm going to burn those roots and basically clean up this area as well. There's this big wooden thing here that's quite heavy. So I'm just going to chuck that on the fire. And then I'm going to clean this bit up and I'm going to try and make this a nice flower, wild garden section, whatever it is, it's just going to be there. Maybe I might move my compost bins there and then do it around here too. But I'm going to clear up more space. Each year I'm trying to clear up a lot more space and do that. All right, so we've got the carrots to show you as well. Now, again, when I'm doing carrots in this, I find that just like the potatoes, you need to water them frequently. And if you miss watering, they basically do suffer a bit. But last episode I harvested carrots as well. But look, if I just get rid of the ones that are overcrowding, it'll probably do it some good. But look, I've got some carrots here, baby. Last time I harvested better ones, so let's grab this one there. So I'll take them as baby carrots for now and then let them carry on. But basically, I missed a good watering on this, and they could have done better. They could have done better. Let's see. This one feels good. Let's pull that one out. There we go. So I think I've never really grown carrots before. I think I'm getting an idea of how to tell which ones are growing well. It's when the stem, if you have a look at the stem, when you feel it quite big, like these are really thin, the thicker ones are bigger. And you can basically pull those ones up, is what I'm realizing. So let's see, I'm not going to look. I'm doing it by feel this time. This one feels like a bigger one. And there you go. So I am right. When when that bit's quite thick, you'll be able to basically harvest some bigger carrots. That's nice to know now. So I can just feel around by hand instead. The other thing is I found is with the carrots, if you leave the green on, they tend to pull out moisture from the carrots. So try not to leave the green parts on. Cut them off. I don't know why shops do it then. It's probably for aesthetic reasons. But basically, I don't think it's a good idea. So I got a decent amount from this so far. I'll leave the rest to grow and I'll give them water. But I think they could have benefited from a deeper water. Have a look at that. Nice amount of carrots. But I've got the rainbow seed mix and it doesn't seem to be giving me many purple carrots from what I can see. All the purple carrots are really, really small. But it is what it is. This tree, this apple tree, has not done so well. I'm really tempted to put it in the ground, but I want to control. It's a dwarf tree, but I don't want it in the ground. I want to be able to move it around. You can see, look, it's suffered. Has it suffered from? No, look, it's moist, but it's just suffering. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to buy a bigger pot, just massive, maybe 2-3 times this size, and I'm going to put it in there. And then make sure there's ample amount of drainage, put some pebbles at the bottom so that we know there's no water retention, so there's no root rot. And I'm going to really work on this for next year. But it's not dead, it's just suffering, so we're going to fix that, and I'll do that in another video. All right, so we've got, look at here, we've got the rhubarb. This one actually died off. I accidentally broke off the stem and I thought this one was gone, but look, we've got one coming out there, so that root will actually be all right. But yeah, we've got the rhubarb, we've got rhubarb growing. I'm just leaving it to strengthen for next year. I think now that I'm looking at these are aster. I had flowers here that I just chucked in, but they've started to actually bloom and they're really nice. I think these would be beautiful for cut flowers. Daffy would love these, and I'll grow a lot more. Maybe I'll make this into, I won't put the nasturtiums here. I think they overgrow and they die too early, and then they just do that. So what I might do is I might, in that wildflower section, do the nasturtiums over there. But I've got lots of seeds for next year. But look at these. There you go. Again, these are better, doing better. But that's beautiful. That's a lovely flower. And obviously it's going to do well. Elijah's starting to cry. What I'll do is I'll take over from Daffy so she can deal with him, and then we'll talk. So if you have a look over here, we've got a sunflower and another flower's actually fallen off, but it's quite windy over here, gets a lot of wind. They're not doing too bad, but I'll do the sunflowers not in this bed next year, and I just chucked them there because I had space. But this is definitely going to be a rhubarb bed. I get enough rhubarb for me over here. And what I might do is I might make this my cut flower section. So put the aster, other flowers, etc., in there, and it'll be lovely. Look at these. I love these compared to the yellow sunflowers. I think a mixture is always good, but look at them. Colors on this are beautiful. If you have a look at that flower. So I'll definitely be collecting these seeds next year, for next year. But yeah, not bad at all. If you have a look at it, for where I was complaining, which I shouldn't do. It's natural though. You work hard on something and things don't work out. It is innate to be upset and to feel frustrated and to have these negative emotions. But the most important thing that you'll see is it's not the end of the world. It's not too bad, and to persevere, because then their hard work pays off and you get something. And yeah, although we might complain, we should appreciate for what we've got, appreciate everything we've got, and be happy that we have health, whatever. We've always got something positive in our lives. All right, everybody, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I really I'm happy with what I've been able to produce on this allotment. Please let me know how your allotment's going, your successes, your failures, anything you want to share really, just please let me know in the comment section. It's always good to hear from our regular viewers, new viewers, and continue building this lovely community where we can share our expertise and grow as well, because there's things I don't know, there's things other people know, there's always tips to share. So please continue doing that. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.